Hi, I'm Sonia Choquette. Welcome back to my channel. If you're coming back, welcome for the first time. If you're here for the first time, I hope you enjoy this conversation and I hope you subscribe. So be sure to push the subscribe button. Now, I am continuing today a conversation and a talk on how to create boundaries and how they are essential for tuning into your intuition. In my last video, I talked about how to start establishing boundaries. Know who I am, know what I need, have a right to be here. This is the beginning. And then we clear the field, we clear the energy by being intent on really focusing, I'm gonna live my life. So part B is this: don't betray yourself. And we betray ourselves not in big deals, we betray ourselves in little deals, and this interrupts our ability to hear our intuition. So how do you do that? Well, you do this by agreeing to go along with others' energy, others' interests, intentions, and they might not even be bad. Just others' agendas instead of honoring and respecting what we need and feel inside. For example, say you want to sit down and meditate, and your roommate or your partner comes in and says, hey, you want to go for a walk? Want to have a cup of coffee and go for a walk? Well, their energy is enthusiastic and open. You want to meditate and be quiet, but you don't want to disappoint them. So you say, I was going to meditate, but okay. And you go with it. Now, it's not that you're going to have a bad experience with whomever you go off with, but you've just betrayed something that was important to you. Your inner guidance is always giving you small little clues about how to take care of who you are, be your best self, flourish and create your best life. These are subtle impulses, not big, overwhelming downloads. But they say things like, meditate this morning, be quiet, don't eat that, don't do that. So when you're with a group of friends and they say after work, hey, we're all gonna go for a drink, the idea sounds appealing. Certainly it sounds like fun, but your inner self knows, drinking's not good for me. But you don't want to be the party pooper at work, so you go along. Then you get there and everybody's ordering this cocktail or that beer, and you say, well, I'll just have a soda. I'll just have a sparkling water. And everybody looks at you and says, what do you mean sparkling water? That's not what. Have a drink. Come on, loosen up. Again, not wanting to disappoint or not wanting to be perceived as no fun. You say, okay. And you order a glass of wine or a beer or another or two or whatever. Going along with the energy, you betray yourself. You're betraying what your inner guidance is saying to you. This isn't good for you. It's not that this isn't good generally in the world. It just isn't good for you. This is how intuition starts to be your guide. It's these little impulses that are always present and beeping in. They're kind of beaming in quietly, and you get a choice. Am I going to listen or not? You get the guidance that says, it'll be really good for you to take 15 minutes every morning and maybe meditate or do some yoga. That's inner guidance. That's intuition. That will lead to a lot of benefit, a lot of clarity, a lot of better health, a lot of availability to guidance, maybe creativity. Maybe in your yoga practice, you'll channel in your whole future. But your ego mind says, I don't want to get up today. I don't want to do that. I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. Again, you've just betrayed yourself. And the self I'm talking about is the self, the spirit within, that is guiding you to create the life that will give you all the things you yearn for. You have to show up. So it's always a series of little decisions that make a big difference. It's always little impulses, little guidance that comes through, but it's not going to hit you over the head. Another example is you meet someone that is very charismatic, very attractive, charming. Your initial experience is, I love this person. I'm in love with this person. But deep down, something in your inner guidance says not everything is as it seems. It's not as good as it looks. It's not as authentic. It isn't words, it's a feeling. So you have this feeling. Just to pay attention, just to be aware, not to completely surrender your heart and your availability to someone if that energy comes up. But your ego mind says, no way, you're making that up. Why are you just suspicious by nature? This is a great person. And the next thing you know, you've become involved or immersed in someone else's life and they're not good for you. That initial impulse, which was subtle, was accurate. But you're conditioned to ignore it. You've abandoned yourself again. You've betrayed yourself again. Intuition isn't Elvis coming in the room. It's little impulses that come through the heart, that come through the gut, that sit sometimes at the throat, that are so subtle, but they are present enough that you notice. Then you make a choice. Am I going to give it importance or am I going to ignore it? The intuitive person who has clear boundaries and says, this impulse is helping my garden grow. It's helping me become my best self. It's protecting me to have the most beautiful life without drama. I have to listen instead of denying it. Now, this is part B of like boundaries has to do as much with honor your own boundaries, protect yourself as much as you would want anyone else to respect that by these little tiny decisions. Will I listen to my gut? Will I listen to my heart? Will I listen to that inner impulse that isn't language? It's a feeling. Or will I talk myself out of it, tune it out, laugh it off, get my ego involved, someone else's ego involved that says what I'm saying from the outer experience is more important than what I'm feeling deep inside. It's not easy initially to start respecting that inner impulse, that inner boundary. It's not easy necessarily initially to say to others, no, that doesn't work for me. But it gets easier, and in the long run, it's far easier than the outcome of what happens when you do abandon yourself. So practice saying, when you get an inner impulse, saying it out loud, because the minute you say it out loud, you can't ignore it as easily. You know, I'd love to have that drink, but something in me says it's not for me, not good for me. I'd love to have it, you're right, it looks delicious, not good for me. When you say it out loud, your boundary is established both within and with others. You meet someone you love, you meet someone who's charming the socks off of you, you can just say, you know, it's been really nice to meet you. I take a little slower amount of time to get to know someone. I look forward to taking our time and becoming better friends. Again, you're not going to be swept away. You're not going to be caught up in the drama of the moment. You just say, I've enjoyed this experience, but you're also saying, I'm going to respect that I need to pace this and get to know you better. Believe it or not, when you set your boundaries, other people respect them. They're not going to set them for you. And when you do set your boundaries, your intuition really gets loud and clear because it's not fighting with your ego or others. That's why it's such a good tool for tuning in. Because for now, it's there like this subtle little beep, like this little impulse coming from your heart and your belly and your gut and your soul and your spirit. But your ego mind and conversation and other people's egos and conversation can drown it out. By giving it voice, you tune up and turn up the volume, and then it's not so easily drowned out. You try this and you'll see a very big difference. When part of intuition is its truth serum. And when you tell the truth, when you speak the truth, people have a tendency to respect it. It's pretty amazing. So try this, you'll see what I mean. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. And please subscribe and come back. I'll give you more tips and tools. I come back once a week with another tip, another tool, another way to tune up your intuition, turn on this inner intelligence, and live a magical, marvelous life the way it should be. See you soon.